Alright, guys, what's going on with Call of Duty, man? What is really going on with Call of Duty, man? Like, I'm hearing things about Call of Duty now, like something's up. Now, there's some serious shit here, and this is like really. We're trying to find out more. Let's see. Let's type up. Call. Okay, Call of Duty. Okay, something's really going up here. Now, see here. There is some problems. Now, I don't know what's going on. But something's really going on here. And this is like getting really bad here, like really bad. Um, um, one of the reasons that I'm like is that I'm learning that Call of Duty is spying on their players, you know. Um, and I came across this.
Whoa. Now we're getting somewhere. Call of Duty is using.
Now, I haven't played it in a while, and I'm planning to get back. And
welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos, and welcome.
This is 2 weeks ago. This is 2 weeks ago. It seems that Microsoft bought the rights to Call of Duty, I guess, and something ain't right about it. To me, I think it's complete chicken shit.
Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos, and welcome back to what could possibly be a new form of content on the channel. But the other day, we talked about Nick Merckx and why he left FaZe Clan. I gave my opinions and my insight on the entire story, and you seem to enjoy it. Yesterday, we talked about Courage JD and why he left Marvel Rivals to get more views, and I gave you kind of an inside look from a creator standpoint on why he did what he did.
Yeah.
And in the comment section, you really seem to enjoy it. So we're going to continue on that today. And if you guys enjoy this type of content where we talk about the biggest things going on in gaming or streaming or creator, influencer kind of news, we can definitely do it. But today's is a little tricky. Today's is like walking through a minefield. So I want to set this up front before we even get started. Today we're going to talk about Activision. And we're going to talk about what people are calling, you already know SBMM, skill-based matchmaking, but now there's a new one. It is called EOMM, Engagement Optimized Matchmaking. And we're going to discuss this video that was put out by the Rick, and there's layers to this because this is the Rick's video that we're going to react to, but there's other people in the video, and we'll give them shout-outs and credit as we go. And the whole premise of this is Activision spying on you while you're playing your video games. That seems like an outlandish claim. And I want to be 100% here and say this is all alleged. These are creators, influencers that are coming up with these topics and these things when it comes to is Activision accessing stuff on your side when you're playing games. So none of this is factual. None of this, I mean, it may be, I don't know, but at this time it's alleged. But what I want to do is I want to go through this video and I want to react to it and give you my opinion on it as we go through it, because the person that sent it to me said as the video goes, your jaw is going to drop even more. And there's nothing wrong with us watching something and then giving our opinion on
I
if
just
it could
want
be
to
real
know.
or what this would mean if it is real. And as you know, retention when it comes to developers and publishers with their video games. If you're not holding your controller or playing keyboard mouse on their game, that means you are putting your precious game hours into another game. And it is a fight behind the scenes to get people to stay on your game. Well, how do you do that? Well, knowledge is power. That's truly what this all comes down to. The more they know, the more they can create and tailor to your experience to keep you on their game longer. That makes sense, right? That's what you're trying to do, is get people to play your video game longer. But are there boundaries? Are there things that...
There are boundaries, yes. There are boundaries of what...
AI that is rapidly growing at such a substantial rate. It's almost scary. It is scary, to be honest with you. And I think that's what we're going to be looking at today. Allegations point to AI-driven systems monitoring your behavior, emotions, and surroundings through your devices to fine-tune SBMM and EOMM. So, without further ado, I'm kind of interested in this one. Drop a like, and we're going to start off with the Rick. And as you can see on his video, shout out to the Rick, and on his video, he's got some of your legends in there. It looks like he's got Nade Shot, Scum.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Group 6 is in there. I can't see who's on the other side, but we'll start it back at the beginning. And I think this was kind of his cut to just set the scene. So they're doing a podcast and an interview.
They're having fun other than playtime. Because retention's the only way, right? There's no other way that they
If that's true, I mean,
don't know the
if...
I don't even think that they know, because aside from playing time and how much you play, there's no metric that they can, unless they're looking through your camera and seeing how much fun you're having, how much smile you
Unless they're looking through your camera and seeing how much fun you're having. And look at Nate Shot there on the phone. He's not even in this conversation.
You know, it's just that might be a thing. They can hear your voice, they can record your voice. Don't talk about anything.
If that is true,
okay, so
if it's true, they're spying on PC gamers, PC players, I mean, it's just, I don't play on the PC. I don't play COD, Call of Duty on PC or laptop. I play it on console. My console, I got around. My console's 10 years old. Okay, it's 10 years old. It feels like I just had it for a couple of years, but I've had it for almost 11 years. But the thing is, it's just really. I mean, now they're saying it's AI. They're mentioning AI, right? AI, like. AI driven, like what the fuck, man? AI driven. I just think it's like, you have to really understand that not everybody wants to be spied on at all. You have these agencies, right? These agencies that are spying on you through, like, you can play Half-Life or World of Warcraft or beyond Xbox Live. It's just that, like, right around after Obama got in office, things started to change later on in his second term. But the thing is, players play a game to get away from reality for a bit, because we want to at least play for good 35 minutes to an hour just to kind of goof off a little bit, But this is like way out of hand. Like, literally out of fucking hand, dude.
That's kind of set up to get you ready for what's coming, I feel. That's that hook. That's the hook clip that the Rick put out there. Unless they're looking at your face or monitoring your voice, well, let's be real with each other right now. I can tell you with 100% honesty that if me and Ashley are talking about a product or something and we're just discussing it, that 2 minutes later on our Facebook, we're going to get those ads. And that happens across the board now. That's real. That's not placebo effect. That's not a myth or an urban legend. That is a fact. 100%. They listen, and then they try to shoot you what they think you'll like by listening to you. Why would it be any different in video games? I don't know. I don't know why it would or not. So let's keep going. We've got the Rick with his intro, setting the tone, ominous sounds here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am actually concerned that I have to make this video over Call of Duty Black Ops 6, over Activision, all the weird things they are doing. It is actually very, very concerning.
One thing I want to say, and I want to say to Rick and anybody else that's talking about things, guys, I've been in this space for almost 15 years. Okay? When you make a video like this or an expose or you have concerns that you're putting out there, you need to stress the point that these are alleged claims, alleged concerns. You are talking about a machine. And when I say the machine, I'm talking about Activision right now. It could be any big company. That when you go and put stuff out
it could be a big
this,
if.
You need to make sure that everybody is fully aware that is what.
I mean, it could be a big if. It's not legit, but it's a big if. It's just a big if they are. But if they are, they're taking a playbook from these tech companies like Google and
because you have a responsibility, because you put this out there to an audience, that these are alleged. So,
alleged.
Just a little word of advice. You can say what you want. It's free speech. You can have your opinion. That's great. But you need to unblur the line between, hey, this happened, and this is what's happening with this company, and this is what they're doing 100% definitively, and this is allegedly what people are saying could possibly be happening. That's just a little pro tip.
I mean, what we're about to be talking about in today's video is really kind of pushing, like, is it even legal what Activision is doing within their games, within their patents?
Yeah.
I don't even know, is it an invasion of privacy? I have no idea, but let's get into this. I want to go over this short clip from Prime Pete's video. If you guys don't know who Prime Pete is, I'm telling you.
All right, Prime Pete already had him pulled up. I watched a couple clips from him the other day. Seems like a very knowledgeable guy when it comes to tech and software and coding and all that stuff, way more knowledgeable than me. So I pulled up his channel really quick, and you guys can see right here. He's surging. 93,000 views, 245,000 views, 95,000 views.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about a negative perception to Call of Duty. And I'll tell you right now, whenever a creator kind of gets their hooks into the negative side of a game, Call of Duty, whatever it may be, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, League of Legends, it doesn't matter, you're going to probably get more views. Negativity brings more views. People want to rubberneck and watch the accident.
I'm not here for that. I just want to know if it's, because inquiring minds want to know, but if it is true and it's just alleged, I mean, I can see if it's just alleged, you know, right? You know, I mean, I can understand if it's just alleged, just you know, but the thing is, if it is what it is, then there is some major problems here, you know. But I just want to hear it for myself. I ain't going to judge, but I want to hear it for myself.
It happened. You want to see what's happening in front of you as everything burns down, as long as you're not involved with it. That's just human nature. So the fact that he puts up a video that says, "Stop playing COD," craziest evidence yet,
Oh, man.
250,000 views. So out of the gate, and this is nothing against Prime Pete, but out of the gate, I am very cautious on what we're going to watch, because I can see he's leaning hard into that scare tactic side of, don't ever play COD again, I'm going to show you why not. And that generates views. And then once you start generating views, it's hard to stop. Call of Duty is rigged, insane new evidence. Skill-based damage is crazier than we thought. So he's definitely leaning into that. So right now, I'm definitely going to take that into consideration on what we actually see that he says, because it's hard to tell what's like self-motivated and what you're doing as a creator versus what is actually happening. I'm not saying that we're not going to see some stuff, but I just wanted to put that out there. So shout out to Prime Pete, because we're going to be watching clips from him, I guess, in here as well.
Right now, go subscribe to this dude. He is very, very well educated, very informative. He is an amazing, amazing YouTuber.
Okay, he's going crazy because of the reasons I just told you. So it looks like the Rick is kind of the vessel here, and he's doing the same thing I did and talking about a topic, and then he's going to reference the people that actually talked about the topic. So we're going to go through this video, but we're going to probably go through and find the spots of information. It looks like it cuts over to Prime Pete here, so here we go.
But it sets up the absolute
This is video,
bombshell that I'm
Prime Pete.
about to drop next.
Here, I'm going to pause this here real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and get on my browser here. So I want to get more of this here. I want to be more here. Okay. Okay, here we go. See here. Okay. This is
We were told when it was first released that it was going to be a hub so that way we could launch all the new Call of Duty games and have it be this seamless transition, a place where all your games were in the same space. But instead, all we've gotten is strange controversy after controversy, deliberate crashes. You know, everything has just been a huge mess. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this might actually be the straw that breaks the camel's back, because we might actually be...
okay.
Prime Pete here, so here we go.
But it sets up the absolute
This is video,
bombshell that I'm
Prime Pete.
about to drop next. When using the same software that detects what DLL files a certain program is potentially utilizing maliciously, but this time on Modern Warfare 3 2023, the software found something that would shock you. The first list of utilized DLLs when Black Ops 1 was investigated was this big. Only 6 DLL files were utilized by Black Ops 1.
Okay, so DLL, I don't exactly know what that is, but I am assuming what we're talking about is when the game boots up and it's on PC, this is what it's accessing off your PC. Windows System 32, Steam apps, whatever that may be, and he says there's only 6. which that's not a big deal. I would assume that's all just natural stuff. So that was from Black Ops 1 multiplayer, I assume, on PC. Steam library, blackopsmp.exe. Okay.
By Black Ops 1, and none were suspicious or malicious. When the software was run on Modern Warfare 3 2023, the list was this big. Holy smokes.
Okay, so what he is saying, Pete is saying, is that when you booted up Black Ops multiplayer, that is what it would access in your PC, the 6 things we saw. He's saying, wherever this came from, allegedly, again, these tests are being ran from somebody I don't know, that allegedly, this is what Modern Warfare 3 would be accessing off your PC. I mean, now, technology grows, obviously. Black Ops 1 multiplayer, when was that? 2011, 2010, 2012, I don't remember. A long time ago, over a decade ago. So, obviously, technology has grown. I don't know. We could warrant that to this.
For context, and not just because Black Ops 6 is more modern, bro, XDefiant uses, you guessed it, 0 DLLs when it was tested with the same software. The game accesses a lot of your computer's functionality, but hold on, there's one...
We would assume the game has to access functionality, right? In your PC, if it's using it. I mean, it's an integrated relationship between the game and your PC as you're going. Once again,
but if you're playing on your PC, I don't think. I mean, if it's it's only allegedly they're spying on you. Okay, if you're on your PC. Back in the day, when the Xbox came out, right, first gen Xbox, you could get all these goodies for it. You know, you could get a part for it where if you want to play DVDs, you know, or you get a camera. It's like a camera that you could use while talking to other players, you know, and you could film your gameplay and whatnot, you know. And it was an early kind of system, you know, but this was kind of like the 80s version of the Xbox. Like, you need all these accessories for, you know, but this was the first gen Xbox, and you could also play Call of Duty 1, you know, the very early Call of Duty games, you know. And it was a fun time back then because I didn't get involved in it until later on. I didn't get the original until about 2005, 06, because later on the Xbox 360 came along. And that console was like one of the best ever, you know. I could agree with some, you know. Oh, it's a great console, awesome system. So, it came around in 2006, about 5 or 6, you know. Because they were still making the PS2 at the time. Which was like, they were still making it after 12 years, you know, 12 years, like, holy crap, this is like the longest selling console, the PS2. And then you have the PS3 and the 360. Both consoles were pretty good, you know, but the PS3 had a pretty good system, pretty good encryption too. You know, best encryption, man. Like, I mean, they could have still had the same type of encryption on the PS4 and the PS5, you know. Protect your system, you know. I think at the time Sony was like, just put in the encryption. And but I mean, the only time you hear about gamers getting spied on was several years ago that FBI, MI5, was it FBI, NSA, GCHQ. We're all spying on gamers through Xbox Live, Half-Life, World of Warcraft. And because we need to spy on gamers because they might be conduct some terrorist plots over gaming, over messaging. Dude, you're thinking retarded, man, this whole spying thing, is getting out of hand. Look, gamers, all they want to do is play, play, have fun, enjoy themselves, Without gaming, you wouldn't have these content creators talking about Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, all that shit, I mean, just all these different games, like, dude, let them fucking be, man, They're not bugging nobody, so, I mean, if it is only allegedly they're doing, that's no harm in a way, no harm, because like one of my favorite games I'm installing is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Black Ops 6 is Gulf War, and it's just that, what they're doing is clickbaiting. Is there spying? I don't think so.
This is coming from a guy that has really, really, really just small, finite amounts of knowledge when it comes to the back end of that stuff, so.
In particular that stands out from the rest. While I will grant that a lot of these files are innocent, this one right here is cause for great alarm. nvcamera64.dll. Whoa. Now we're getting somewhere.
Okay, so he's saying that the Modern Warfare 3 game will access your camera if it's on.
Call of Duty is using files in your computer that
Allegedly.
decide to access your camera's video
Allegedly.
feed, even when you don't have a webcam active. Call of Duty, immediately on startup, has direct access to your camera.
Allegedly.
Despite the game and anti-cheat not
Allegedly.
at all requiring camera access. Not a single function within Call of Duty requires such a thing to be active. So why is it active? Well, look no further than this Activision-owned and created patent. Methods and systems to modify a two-dimensional...
It's what I like to call clickbaiting. If you hear this shit, it's some content creating moron who's only out for views and subs, all this bullshit. It's just fucking clickbaiting, dude. It's like between 2008 and 2014, these little bastards were clickbaiting over GTA 6. Right? You had one dumb fuck says, "Look at this, I got GTA 6. Clickbaiting bitch. That's all it is, man. And then you got here, AG Gaming. Stop playing COD. Hey, AG Gaming, suck these nuts. It's clickbaiting, man. It's all it is. It's just fucking clickbaiting, dude. That's all it is, man. I mean, it's just fucking clickbait, man. You know.
Prime Pete here, so here we go.
But it sets up the absolute
Is this video
bombshell that I'm
Pete?
about to drop next. When using the same software that detects what DLL files a certain program is potentially utilizing maliciously, but this time on Modern Warfare 3 2023, the software found something that would shock you. The first list of utilized DLLs when Black Ops 1 was investigated was this big. Only 6 DLL files were utilized by Black Ops 1.
Okay, so DLL, I don't exactly know what that is, but I am assuming what we're talking about is when the game boots up and it's on PC, this is what it's accessing off your PC. Windows System 32,
It's
Steam
all
apps,
this.
whatever that may be.
Um,
And he says there's only 6, which that's not a big deal. I would assume that's all just natural stuff. So that was from Black Ops 1 multiplayer, I assume, on PC. Steam library, blackopsmp.exe. Okay.
By Black Ops 1, and none were suspicious or malicious. When the software was run on Modern Warfare 3 2023, the list was this big. Holy smokes.
Whoa. Okay, so what he is saying, Pete is saying, is that when you booted up Black Ops multiplayer, that is what it would access in your PC. The 6 things we saw.
So, folks,
He's
obviously
saying
what-
wherever this came from, allegedly,
Yeah.
again, these tests are being ran from somebody I don't know, that allegedly this is what Modern Warfare 3 would be accessing off your PC. I mean, now, technology grows. Obviously, Black Ops 1 multiplayer, when was that? 2011, 2010, 2012, I don't remember. A long time ago, over a decade ago. So, obviously, technology has grown. I don't know. We could warrant that to this.
For context, and not just because Black Ops 6 is more modern, bro. XDefiant
Activision
uses, you
Blizzard
guessed it,
conti-
0 DLLs when it was tested with the same software. The
Okay.
game accesses a lot of your computer's functionality, but hold on. There's one...
We would assume the game has to, or the game has to access functionality, right? In
Yeah.
your PC, if it's using it. I mean, it's an integrated relationship between the game and your PC as you're going. Once again, this is coming from a guy that has really, really, really just small, finite amounts of knowledge when it comes to the back end of that stuff. So,
in particular that stands out from the rest. While I will grant that a lot of these files are innocent, this one right here is cause for great alarm. nvcamera64.dll. Whoa.
it's clickbaiting.
okay, so he's saying
Clickbait.
that the Modern Warfare 3 game will access your camera if it's on.
Call of Duty is using files in your computer that are
Allegedly.
designed to access your camera's video feed, even when you don't have a webcam active. Call of Duty, immediately on startup, has direct access to your camera,
Allegedly.
despite the game and anti-cheat not at all requiring camera access. Not a single function within Call of Duty requires such a thing to be active. So, why is it active? Well, look no further than this Activision-owned and created patent. Methods and systems to modify a two-dimensional facial image to increase dimensional depth and generate a facial image that appears three-dimensional.
Okay, so this is fact, I'm pretty sure. This is a page from an actual patent that they own, and it's talking about modifying a two-dimensional facial image to increase dimensional depth and generate facial image that appears three-dimensional. So they're getting your flat face off here and making it 3D? Okay.
Why on God's green earth does this patent need to exist? The scariest part is that this image, including
Alleged.
resources, displays a player's face overlaid over their...
If this was more than alleged and it is happening, then there's a major lawsuit there. If it's a big if it's happening, Activision will be in deep shit. You know, they'll be in deep shit because like these content creators are coming up with something for clicks and views and subs and all that shit. But I've played Call of Duty, but not on my PC. Always on the console. So I'm not rushing to judgment. I'm just like I'm hearing about this shit, so I'm kind of getting back into this stuff. So
gameplay. The footnote that describes this image reads as the following. In embodiments, the expressions/reactions of movements of image 1504, which is this image right here, reflect the user's expressions/reactions and movements in real time. This software is capable of using your camera to read and analyze your reactions and emotions, and the game is also confirmed to be accessing your camera as soon as the game starts up. But then we have to ask, why is Call of Duty getting access to your camera the moment the game boots up?
Okay, so Prime Pete is saying that that patent they have can access your face and your face face recognition, right? And how you're reacting. What are you doing? I'm sure there's AI software that is involved in that. So I have a feeling the way they're going with this is they're going to lean into, well, they're going to watch and see if you're having fun. Are you stressed? Why did you quit? What was your face looking like the second you rage quit out of Warzone? That's my vibe. Now, I also want to say that companies have patents, lots of patents. I think the premise and the strategy for companies and their lawyers is to get every single patent they could possibly keep out of somebody else's hands to protect their IP and use in the future. But a lot of these patents never get used. There are companies, I guarantee you,
some companies would have to really understand the legal ramification of if a patent, like Apple and Microsoft had a court battle over patent, over some kind of part that Apple allegedly accused Microsoft of putting it on their controllers, and they've been going back and forth for years, ever since the Xbox 360, because at the time, the Xbox 360 was becoming very popular, and it was outselling Sony for a while, and then Apple got a little pissed off over some shit, about the Xbox 360, and it's like they come up with some kind of shit to sue Microsoft, like how a controller don't need a cord, don't need a cord, and shit, really, dude? Like, really, man? Yeah, holy crap.
Activision has thousands of patents that sit on the shelf and collect dust. Just potentially, or if they ever needed them, they would have them. I mean, you're talking big kid money here. So, yeah, we'll go get them all, and if we ever need it, we'll have it. Same with, like, Marvel and big studios like that.
What they do is they'll create a patent, and then they'll create they'll create something, they'll create a project thing, patent it, and then put it on the shelf for a rainy day, unless they need it, But they kind of put it on the shelf, as what he's saying.
It's not to design a 3D model of your face for graphic design purposes, or
could
maybe
be.
It is, I don't know. But what other things has Activision created or perhaps patented that would need camera access in order to get the most benefit out of it? Well, we return once again to one of our favorite patents, system and method for driving microtransactions.
Now, this one made the news. This was a topic of conversation that people talked about, the patent about system and method for driving microtransactions in multiplayer video games. It goes back to retention and knowing what your customer wants. I mean, if Activision could, or any other publisher could or company, they would reach right through the monitor and talk to you and have a Q&A with you to figure out exactly what you want so they can tailor the experience to keep you on their game. It's the same with Facebook, so they can tailor an experience of what me and Ashley like so they can serve us ads for the people that are putting ads on their platform, and they hope that we'll click on those ads and there'll be a conversion. It's crazy, I know, but it's not that crazy to think about. But yeah, when you see driving microtransactions in multiplayer games.
Hey, darling.
Hey, what you watching?
Huh?
What you watching?
I'm doing a commentary video.
All right, I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna watch, and I'll call you
Okay.
later.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye. There's always been this thing about, but this here has made the news. I mean, it has made the news. So, well, I want to play back here a little bit. Play back. Okay.
No. But what other things has Activision created or perhaps patented that would need camera access in order to get the most benefit out of it? Well, we return once again to one of our favorite patents, system and method for driving microtransactions.
Now, this one made the news. This was a topic of conversation that people talked about. The patent about system and method for driving microtransactions in multiplayer video games.
Yeah.
It goes back to retention and knowing what your customer wants. I mean, if Activision could, or any other publisher could or company, they would reach right through the monitor and talk to you and have a Q&A with you to figure out exactly what you want so they can tailor the experience to keep you on their game. It's the same with Facebook, so they can tailor an experience of what we actually like so they can serve us ads for the people that are putting ads on their platform, and they hope that we'll click on those ads and there'll be a free version.
Yeah.
It's crazy, I know, but it's not that crazy to think about. But yeah, when you see driving microtransactions in multiplayer games,
what they're doing is
is
that they're catering to the consumer, the customer. They're catering to the customer, and but again, they're not spying on you. This guy who's saying, Call of Duty Treyarch is or Activision can tap into your PC camera once the game's turned on. Well, the thing is, Activision ain't stupid. Okay, they're not stupid. They know, because every company has certain patents that they put on the shelf. Okay, I'm a big gamer, but there are content creators that do clickbait, just really, like, I'm sick and tired of these damn clickbaiters, because they do it for clicks, they do it for reviews, they do it for subs, and all that shit, But Chaos here is hitting it on the nose here.
to do that, it leaves a bad taste.
Multiplayer video games, and here is where I drop the bombshell. We can see right here in this patent that Activision has designed a system that does a few things by reading the emotional state of a player using visuals. Firstly, in this section right here, it reads, examples of quality factors include...
What it's saying here is, what it's saying, examples of quality factors including without limitation a player quitting a match or gameplay session while other players are still playing, indicating dissatisfaction, a duration of the game session, e.g., a longer duration may indicate greater satisfaction, a gameplay performance factor, e.g., a kill-to-death ratio in a shooter game, a lap time, a race game, etc. Where greater performance may indicate greater satisfaction, a player engagement factor, e.g., a speed player input, a level of focus as determined from camera peripheral, etc. Where greater engagement may indicate greater satisfaction and competition level of a game, e.g., whether lopsided or not, where evenly matched games may indicate greater satisfaction. A biometric factor, e.g., facial recognition, pulse, body language, sweat, explicit feedback from a player, e.g., response to a survey, and or other observable metrics related to gameplay. Clickbaiting.
without limitation, a player quitting a match or gameplay session while other players are still playing, indicating satisfaction, blah blah blah, until we get right here. A player engagement factor, e.g. a speed of player input, a level of focus as determined from camera peripherals, etc.
Okay, so this is pretty wild. A player engagement factor, e.g. a speed of a player input, a level of focus is determined from camera peripherals, facial expressions, pulse, body language, sweat. They put sweat in there. Explicit feedback from a player. So basically what I'm getting out of this, and once again, this is all
allegedly,
is that this patent, this AI
Clickbaiting.
formula program could go in your camera, look at you, and I'm playing Call of Duty. No, I'm playing Marvel Rivals. And the camera can determine if I'm having fun. By my facial expressions, by my sweat. Am I locked in? Am I having a good time? And of course, my comms. What am I talking about? And then, the second I quit the game, which is exactly what they don't want to ever happen, then they can pause. Why did he quit? Why did Jimmy quit? What did his face look like? Was he crying because he used Punisher and Magic came in his back line and killed him 42 times in a row? What can we do to help Jimmy have a better experience? Can we turn up the SBMMM so if Jimmy's not very good at Marvel?
Why did he quit? Did he have the runs? Oh no, Taco Bell.
Rivals, he's going to get some bots to play against, and he's going to boost them up, and he's going to be happy. I don't know, but that's kind of the vibe that I get with this. Just translate it over to Call of Duty.
Greater engagement may indicate greater satisfaction. So in this patent, a camera is used to analyze the emotional state of a player. Another section reads, the quality factors may include, for example, a duration of a gameplay session, e.g. via analysis of player historical data, player's psychological state, e.g. frustration level, and or other information.
Wow.
So Activision has created methods and systems that read player emotions in order to drive microtrends.
Yeah, they're hoping. Don't rage quit, well, then throw your controller. Come on, dude. It's clickbaiting bullshit here.
Actions and rig the matchmaking.
Okay, once again, I mean, shout out to Prime, shout out to Rick. Allegedly rig matchmaking. I don't know you guys personally, but I'm trying to give you a little nugget here, okay? I mean...
And the best part, the patent that creates 3D facial images out of 2D images is cited within the microtransaction.
Okay, I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact right there. We can deal with facts.
Fact,
Publication number, US, whatever. You can go look it up. Methods and systems to modify a
can't see it.
Dimensional facial image to increase dimensional depth and generate a facial image that appears three-dimensional is the beginning of that.
And they have an AI that listens to your microphone in game chat, so the game has unrestricted camera access, can see your face and hear your voice without you giving them permission to see your face or hear your voice outside of voice chat. Unless somewhere in the terms of service there is a loophole that we sign up to, which I wouldn't be too surprised about.
So let's talk about that really quick. The TOS, the terms of service. I'm willing to bet this is a company that on a legal standpoint, I would assume they dot their I's and they cross their T's. They have an army of lawyers and just people that are advisors, whatever you want to call them. So I find it hard to believe that if we went through the TOS, which I'm surprised somebody hasn't, that all of this is covered in there. When you go and you say, hey, I want to play Call of Duty, I'm logged in, let's go. Oh, I got to read all this. No, you can scroll all the way to the bottom. We'll assume you read all of it. Click. Not one of you or me reads that entire TOS. Is that on us? Yeah.
I admit, I don't read the TOS. I admit that. Myself. Big gamer, almost 20 years. You know, I remember I'm old school. I'm Gen X. I remember playing the Atari, ColecoVision, you know, all that stuff, you know. But I've been playing since 2005, you know, whatever, you know, but for about 20 years now, so yeah.
Yes. Do you sign a contract without reading a contract? You shouldn't. But then again, there's also companies that can be a little bit malicious and have ill intent and hide stuff in there that they know you're not going to read. Once again, you should read. And then what are you going to do once you read?
That's like signing up for a account with a social media platform where you just sign up without reading the TOS. You know, I've read the TOS. You know, and I have to like the TOS was his terms of service, and he got to follow the community guidelines, which we all know well. But it's understanding that by gaming here, none of us read the TOS. We should, but we don't.
What if you found this in the TOS and it confirmed it, and you knew that, hey, Activision can log into your camera and tell if you're happy, sad, sweating, upset, crying, whatever, and then they can tailor your experience around that. Are you gonna take the game back? Are you gonna get a refund, or are you gonna hit the button and you?
It's like that movie Short Circuit. We gotta go get number 5. He might be mad. He doesn't get happy. He doesn't get mad. He just runs programs. I love that movie.
The first multiplayer match. It's a good question to look in the mirror and try to answer.
Oh, this is really bad.
Okay, that's pretty heavy. Once again, Rick's probably just reacting. Let's see if there's anything else from Pete in here.
On you right now, go like this video.
Go like this video. And then he shouts out Prime Pete again.
Both of their channels are in the description below. Give them description below. Both of their channels are in the description below.
All right, so those are the two guys that he's shouting out. Prime Pete and Foley, I guess they're the ones doing the research on this.
Yeah.
So, as with all these videos, I'm going to give you my opinion at the end of the video once we kind of react and look over this. I think you need to pull everything in here. Once again, you've got the Rick, who's talking about the news, same as we're doing, which is fine. He's reacting to somebody that made a video talking about the possibilities of a company doing a certain thing. You've got Prime Pete, who's kind of on the forefront of that with the information that he provides, the case that he presents, and then I guess Foley, I don't know, I don't know, I didn't look him up, but I'm assuming the same type of thing. Now, once again, when you go to Prime Pete's channel, this is what he's honed in on. I mean, even the music in the background. I mean, everything is done for a reason with a content creator. So you've got his music, and it's that vibe like, oh, we're going into the deep, dark web here and conspiracy theory, so on and so forth. And it all feeds into that negative edge of us versus the big guy, us versus Activision. Just keep that in mind when you're kind of balling all this up. Now, on the other side of that, you can't argue with patents that have been created. And I already told you guys, I guarantee you, as Activision has patents that are even more crazy than that you've never seen.
If patents are created, if a company creates a patent, they will put on the shelf, and in case they need it later, So it's kind of like, I mean, you got your clickbaiters on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and all, but the thing is, like, they do it for clicks and views and stuff like that. But I'm really getting back into Call of Duty again. I've installing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Yeah, the guy's on the nose.
And you'll probably never see, because it's probably buried in the thousands of patents they have, because they are literally trying to predict the future. And it's almost impossible to predict the future with AI going so rapidly. So they're all trying to grab it, use it, utilize it, get the edge over the other game. All they want to do is have you playing their game instead of somebody else's. And they're going to use every single edge that they can get. So the patents, that's pretty scary. The fact that you go from Black Ops multiplayer allegedly to only accessing 6 points of interest, we'll call them POIs, in your computer on Steam, to Modern Warfare 3 accessing a whole sheet, one of those being the camera, is pretty crazy. And then you tie those in with those patents about microtransactions and how a camera, or how they could read your facial recognition, and if I'm upset and I just don't want to play anymore, they're going to see that, and they're going to go back and they're going to look at the data, allegedly, and they're going to figure it out and they're going to fix it. That's right. Little Timmy's going to have fun, because the next time he gets in there, he's going to play against a bunch of bots.
That's if you're playing on the PC. I play on the console. That's my thing is the console. I don't play on PC unless I'm playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm a big Star Wars fan, you know. But AI is getting huge, man. Really, really huge, you know. In a little bit, I'm going to be talking about the plane crash over DC. There was a Black Ops, a chopper that ran into it, that hit a plane full of top-notch gymnasts from Russia and the United States. And Nancy Kerrigan, she did a press conference just in tears because these were very talented young girls from both Russia and the United States. You know, great talented gymnasts have died. You know. But someone was saying that the chopper itself, it's a Black Hawk helicopter. I'm gonna off topic here. So, but yeah, companies they create patents. They get things. They create something. And then they patent it and then put it on the shelf later. You know, but because AI is crazy, man. AI is crazy. You know. But if it is, I mean, it's only alleged right now. For me, I'm getting back into Call of Duty, you know. So my thoughts on this is that if they're spying on you as a gamer on your PC, and they're using the AI to do it. Because right now it's only alleged, you know. There would be a major lawsuit because the FBI, MI6, GCHQ, which is England's NSA and shit, spying on gamers. That's bad, you know. That's very, very bad, you know. And again, we're in a depopulation event here, you know. So I mean, in reality here, so you know, chaos here is on the nose. So,
and then he's going to get excited, and he's going to think he's a pro, and then he's going to go in the shop, and then he's going to get all these camos that he sees everybody posting online. He's going to think, well, that camo, I'm a pro. I need to rep like that. I'm going to go buy that for 2,100 points or whatever, and boom, the patent worked. Allegedly. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild. Now, I'll say with the past and things that we've gone through with Activision and Call of Duty, there's definitely been questionable things. Do I think all of this is 100% true? Not necessarily. Do I think a lot of it could definitely be happening in the background or just be real to a degree? Yeah. Off of everything I just told you about how I feel businesses work and the edge that they're trying to get and your Facebook and everything else. It's a wild, wild world out there. So here's the takeaway. And this is a long video. I hope you guys are still here. The takeaway is don't talk about things when you're around electronics or Alexa or Siri or when you are hooked up in any way or in a room that is hooked up online, which is going to become honestly impossible unless you're okay with the fact that, not the fact, let me retract that, with the possibility that somebody's listening in.
Possibility of deniability.
There you go. That's the best I can say. But I also go back to look in the mirror. You're going to go through this TOS and you're going to find that and you're going to correlate those together. And is that going to keep you from playing Call of Duty, Marvel Rivals, League of Legends, Fortnite, any of those? I'm going to guess and say the answer to 99% of you is no. You're going to scroll through it and you'll be like, well, that sucks. And then you're going to go play because we get on Facebook and it's almost to a point where we're like numb to it. We're like, oh yeah, we talked about the shampoo, and then we both get an ad for shampoo. That shampoo 5 minutes later when we're in the truck. And then we look at each other and like, huh, wow, that's scary. And guess what?
It is.
Get on Facebook again. So can we really complain about it? I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you guys, but it's going to be an interesting conversation in the comments. Be constructive if you can. That's all I ask when we're talking about this stuff. And if you guys are enjoying this kind of content, leave me something you want to talk about. If there's something out there that's big enough to talk about, whether it's creator, influencer, gaming space, whatever, we can definitely make a video on it. This is pretty wild. Not going to lie. Am I too shocked? No, I'm not. I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Now, I want to bring in here, let's see here.
Victor, I got a question.
This is from 8BE. Okay. This is a YouTuber. Let me see here if I can find the guy. Okay, he was talking about, okay, this is about here. Activision's buying.
Activision Blizzard continues to go downward in a spiral of dumb decision after dumb decision that just shows their incompetence as a company. They just announced some breaking news. They will be adding in-game voice chat moderation that will be controlled by an AI program. Yes, Skynet will be conducting moderation of all voice chat activities in real time on Call of Duty, a game that is known for being a hive of scum and villainy when it comes to voice chat. In fact, half of the fun playing Call of Duty online is shit talking. But no, now we're going to have an AI software ban any and everybody that is deemed as promoting hate speech. Yeah, your shit talk, your friendly heckling could be labeled as hate speech because an AI software is going to determine the tone and whether it is inappropriate conversations on your voice chat. So Activision is partnering with Modulate, a company, to use their AI-based ToxMod voice chat.
Modulate. GBB 1109 says here, I just got banned for having a conversation with my significant other, meaning spouse or girlfriend, with my mic on while at the main menu. I literally never cursed while I play. Honestly, I think here, first let's listen here.
Chat moderation program to analyze voice chat in real time. Analyze it. So we're going to not even have a real human being listening to the voice chat. Regardless of which, that doesn't really matter though. We're going to be getting spied on. Our conversations on Call of Duty are going to be listened to in real time. No matter what it is you say, you can say something private. You give away your address, your phone number, your name, your location. You can talk about what you ate for lunch that day. This AI software is going to be collecting all of that data, and Lord knows who has access to it. This is potentially really sus stuff. If they ever get hacked, everybody literally using voice chat on Call of Duty's information is at risk. This new AI technology is going to listen to voice chat in Call of Duty in real time and send Activision reports of voice chat instances that break the Call of Duty code of conduct. Apparently only Activision can actually issue a ban after the AI reports the instance. So again, we're going to have some kind of artificial software listen in, report the instance, and then somebody from Activision will decide whether they're going to issue a ban or not. This AI is going to be working extra hard, especially after search and destroy. Literally every...
I use this. Okay. I use this to talk to players. while I play gaming, while I'm gaming. But I'm also use it to listen in on a conversation on other players, just for our goof. I'm a very quiet guy. I don't talk very much when I play. I'm a very quiet guy. You can ask my good friend here. I'm a very quiet guy, very legit, chill guy, like Dude Lebowski. I'm like the dude, man, just kind of chilling, man. But this here is just absolutely insane. Do I talk? Very little, very little, very little, because I'm getting into the online gameplay instead of talking, But I do wear these. I do wear these, Again, I don't play on the PC. I play on the console. Because I like the console better.
Everybody in game chat after this goes live, which apparently it's already live in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0, is no longer going to be voice chatting ever again. They are essentially killing their fan base. Yeah, we want to encourage less toxicity and blah, blah, blah. No, it's all this snowflake pussyfooting behavior. The internet and gaming in general is getting fucking soft. And they're out of their minds if they think that this is going to go good in any way. Because the internet always finds a way. Like Jurassic Park, life always finds a way. The internet always finds a way to work around these things. I guess the main workaround that we could do is don't use voice chat and play on Discord, which is probably what every gamer is going to do now because Activision Blizzard is dead set on literally ruining their biggest franchise. Rest in peace to hearing anyone in voice chat ever again. You gotta think, what are they doing? Why don't they just work on optimizing this game, fixing glitches, making the game actually playable and enjoyable, and making a solid quality game? No, they're just worrying about the SJW side of things, fixing the toxicity and the hate speech and all this. Anytime I see buzzwords like hate speech, I'm automatically like, all right, I'm tuned out. Like, I was already in arms about Call of Duty after the Nick Merck situation. Now I'm like 110% leaning on the side of, I can't play this anymore. And it's a shame because I really enjoy Call of Duty. It was one of these games I played to decompress. You're literally playing a game where you shoot people and kill them. Your operators in the game cuss as well. There's very excessive amounts of violence. And Activision Blizzard is worried about the voice chat moderation. I swear to God, the gaming community is becoming softer than baby poop now. What happened? Call of Duty, again, is known for being a cesspool of a voice chat. Am I saying hate speech is welcomed and advocated and all that? No.
That's why more people are downloading Call of Duty Mobile on their mobile device than anything else.
Obviously not. Anything that's real hate speech should be controlled. But you're having an AI software essentially control the asylum. You're letting the inmates control the asylum. Something that doesn't have a functional brain is going to...
I wouldn't say inmates. I would say more like gin-soaked waffle heads. Soft, gin-soaked waffle heads who ain't got the balls, man. Or used to have balls, but I need my safe space. I need HR. Can I have a teddy bear, please? Thank you.
Detect human activity and report it to Activision. Sure, Activision's still going to be the one at the end of the day that's going to look at these reports and give the ban, but the fact that our conversations are going to be listened to in real time at all times is fucking weird and suspect. And again, they say it's for moderation, but who's not to say that this is going to be secretly and privately sold to some third-party company like Tencent or something over in China? This is a serious security issue, a privacy issue. Honestly, I feel like I'm never going to use voice chat again. And I think that's probably the best option here. Opt out of using voice chat because they're going to be listening to your conversations at all times in a game where voice chat was probably the biggest highlight. All because people are fucking soft. That's what it comes down to. And yeah, it's fine to eliminate toxic players and all this, but why the fuck do you wait so long? Call of Duty came out in 2009, and they're just now worrying about this in 2023? What took you so long? And this is just the beginning, guys. You give a company like Activision Blizzard an inch, they will take a mile. It starts with just them moderating voice chat with AI, but sooner or later, we're going to get all those things that we've been seeing rumors about, like the biometric face scanning and all sorts of other ways to verify you are who you are.
Verify.
Video games. What happened to just turning on a console, pressing start, and enjoying the game? Now we're having moderation of voice chat? Are they really that worried about hate speech in their video games? Why all of a sudden? Is there some kind of weird woke company directive that they're working on? Again, I'm not against hate speech, but using AI and having it detect hate and tone could be a mess, especially when people are going to get unfairly banned. I could see a lot of people getting unjustly banned and getting banned by accident, and because some little SJW at Activision approves these reports. This is just a situation that's going to be bad, and that's all just the other stuff aside. The main issue here that I have is the fact that our conversations, our voice chats, are going to be monitored at all time. That's the worst part, in my opinion. And again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, all right? They're making this new AI-powered voice chat technology to ban players who display disruptive behavior in their games, which on paper, yeah, I can agree with that. Monitoring conversations and recording them at all times in real time gives me a little bit of a red flag here, and is a big yikes for me.
Come on.
I don't know if I like this. I honestly don't think I like this. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments down below. I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. That whole idea, man. You know, so about that. My dad asked me about the burrito I got, so it's like, wow. Back on topic. Again, I use these. I talk, but the other thing goes, less is more. Minimize the conversation. Keep it simple. I think there's a lot of issues here, but you know, I just think it's really kind of like SJWs have they're trying to ruin gaming, man. I love gaming, you know. I've always been a big gamer, you know. I don't play those pussy ass kind of games, man, you know. I don't. I play games where it's like going there, you know, guns blazing, you know. But only in gaming, because that's where as a gamer you play to have fun. You play to have fun. No stairs. What the fuck? No stairs. Fuck. But here's a video here. It's about it's GDC. It's GDC.
Hi everyone. My name is Hank Howie, and I'm the Director of Partnerships for Modulate. I've been in the game industry for, well, quite some time now, in various companies and roles. I was one of the co-founders of Blue Fang Games, and we made Zoo Tycoon back in the day.
This is Hank Howie, Director of Partnership with Modulate.
But today, I'm here to talk to you about the ever-increasing impact of voice chat in games. We don't think that's a terribly controversial notion, but one of the interesting things is how much research there is around voice chat in games, both the good and the bad, and there's plenty of both. And thought it would be useful to share that data with a lot of you, some of the studies and so forth, and just, again, talk about voice chat in games. So the nature of gaming obviously has been shifting for some time now. Ever since 2008, the largest selling games are invariably the big online multiplayer games. Game usage, gameplay has been growing, really since I've been in the industry, and it's, and it's really, it seems like growth has gotten even more precipitous in more recent times, and we'll say in the last decade. Even pre-COVID, 63% of game players, adult game players, were playing 5 hours or more a week. COVID obviously did a lot to increase that, as we shall see. And again, less for I want to play games more than, I want to go hang out online with my friends because, well, that's where they are, and it's a pandemic. I can't go see them right now. So again, pretty obvious, but bears mentioning. And really, it didn't just affect gamers per se, but really, having sort of sharing one's life, social life online has affected everyone from kids to grandparents and everyone in between. People, I think understand now, post-pandemic, kind of what it is to live and socialize online and how it really is, a thing. And something that I alluded to earlier, which is the games are not just, people aren't just going online to play the games per se. I mean, sure, a lot of folks do that, but again, during the pandemic in particular, people would go to various online places, online communities, in order to basically interact with anyone socially. Again, it's this phenomenon of folks going online to play a game per se, and the game is really just on in the background. Players are communicating about the game and what's going on in it, and if there's a threat, everybody runs or hides or shoots back. But really, then it's in the sort of in the down times of the game, or just when not much is going on, people are basically just sharing what's going on in their lives, sharing with their friends, and basically hanging out. Look at the PUBG numbers of Indian players using it as a social platform. It's kind of the bowling with friends kind of philosophy, but or golf with your friends. It's that same notion where, sure, everyone's going online to this destination, which happens to be a game, but really what's going on is not only gameplay, but socialization, talking with your friends, voice chat. And I think somewhat obviously, too, voice chat clearly it leads to a more stronger bonds in game, deeper empathy for other.
Now, here, voice chats leads to stronger bonds and deeper empathy than text chats. 80% of women reported being empowered by access to online voice chats to interact in new ways, even despite 75% of them report facing toxicity through voice. Women in gaming. A study of female players' experience in online FPS games by Allison McDaniel, 2016.
The players in the game than mere, text chat. And then here is where we kind of get to that two-edged. We first touch on the real two-edged sword of voice chat in gaming, the pros and the cons. And like for example, in the women in gaming study, 80% of women reported being empowered by access to online voice chat to interact with folks, in kind of new and compelling ways. They really they like that. And then at the same time, just about all of them reported facing toxicity, and in particular through voice and voice chat. And it's the sad truth.
Sure.
Voice chat's obviously, and the impact of voice chat in games, it's obviously very important for various aspects of gaming. Clearly, with voice chat, players can feel greater immersion within the game and within the world that they're playing in. In order to to role play and feel closer identity, say, to their avatar within the game. They can express that through voice. For any kind of competitive online game, voice chat is a must. There's just no good replacement right now in order to get the information to your teammates and communicate and function effectively as a team. Players have to be talking to one another. And then, for example,
it also can be therapeutic too, in some ways too. Because the more you talk to people, it can be very therapeutic to a huge degree. Because, like, for example, if I may, my whole life before the whole thing here, growing up my whole life, I used to hold stuff in, and I would blow up at any time at anybody, just blow up out of nowhere at any time, because I had that anger, that anger build up, and it was bad. It was bad. Even in my marriage, it was bad, But later on, I found out about YouTube. I watched a couple of videos. I'm watching and watching. I'm thinking, I could do that. Because it was better than talking to a shrink. It was better than talking to a psychologist. And I used to use a very small BlackBerry phone, and I'm like, I feel like I'm talking to an acid of a phone, but it had a camera in the back, so I would talk, and I did my first video, and I did more, and more, and the more I talk, I realized I've done over 150 videos in like 2 months. And I feel like, wow, I feel better because I'm getting responses, It ain't about the views, it ain't about the subs and whatnot. It's about feeling that weight off my shoulders. I felt lighter each time I got done talking. I felt lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. I've been doing this since 2011. I'll be 14. Oh, was it 15 years or yeah, 14 years. Now I'm still doing this. I'm not just on YouTube. I'm on Rumble. I'm on TikTok. I'm on different platforms. Rumble, YouTube, and TikTok, and mine. And I'm talking. I feel like a huge weight off my chest, off my shoulders. I talk because I used to stutter when I talk. I mean, I used to stutter all the damn time. I stutter a little bit, and here got my charger here. And I can hear myself better. I may take time to put words together, but I still talk normal as I do. I could talk to my good friend, who's dear to my heart. Dear to my heart. Her, I could talk for hours and hours and hours, and it feels good to conversate because we can be on the phone or we can talk through this, the thing. But it still feels good to have that conversation, The weight's lifted. I feel lighter. I feel like a leaf floating on water, actually. Putting it that way, I feel like as light as a leaf floating on water.
Even if, not that long ago, talking about, proximity voice chat stuff was kind of unheard of. All kinds of issues, technology, bandwidth, and so forth. And now you see any number of games and environments that are starting to implement those features. And, it adds to the experience, and the player's experience within the game. Yeah. But then, now we get to even deeper into the dark side of
okay, this is the darker side of voice chat.
And, I just, called out 4 of the articles here. I'm sure all of us who are almost invariably in the game community have read or seen or almost certainly experienced toxicity within online gaming environments via voice chat. And the thing is when people talk about toxicity, there's swear words and all that. Sure.
There's plenty of it. There's plenty of it. My brother-in-law, he got me playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the OG original Modern Warfare 2, and I'm listening, and I play this game all the time. I used to, and I can hear gamers, players just drop the N-bomb this, N-bomb that. All this stuff, I'm like, man, do I have to really hear that shit? Like, dude, man, I'm hearing all this crazy shit I'm like, man, son of a bitch, man. Holy crap.
But I think we also know that it's way worse than that. It's way worse than that. You know, players are experiencing racism, doxing, misogyny, child grooming, even
exactly. Exactly. Child grooming. What the fuck? Like, what the hell, man? You got these dumbasses, sick sons of bitches, grooming children, boys and girls, man. Like, what the fuck, man? The kids, man. You're a grown adult. You're a sick in the head motherfucker adult trying to groom a kid, man. Like, what the fuck, man? That pissed me off, dude. I'm a dad, I'm an uncle, and a great uncle. Pissed me off, man.
Even terrorist recruitment, believe it or not, goes on in game environments. And again, it's all through the use of voice chat.
Now you hear about years ago, FBI, NSA, MI5, DCQ, spying on gamers, man. No, not again, but we're all thinking they're spying on us. For a while, thinking like, what do we do? But like you said, there's terrorist recruitment through voice chat. You know, like, what the fuck, dude?
It's the downside for sure. Voice, you know, voice in general is an intimate form of communication, right? And despite the earlier figures about, you know, women in gaming and so forth, you know, these studies show about 60% of women generally seek to mask their gender online, you know, in the obvious ways, right? They're either you know, they're in a male avatar or in some other ways, or perhaps not even using voice chat, because invariably when they do reveal their gender, many times toxic behavior occurs from their fellow players. It's just a sad truth, right? Voice, it's just 68% of players experience severe abuse through voice chat, physical threats, stalking, sustained harassment, stalking both, you know, online and real life. So it's
there's a case of a guy that was it was two players playing Call of Duty Black Ops. The first Black Ops came out 14 years ago, and it was over $1 bet. You know, but a third guy who was also like a player wasn't even involved, and he got shot and killed by police. You know, he got shot and killed. You know, it's called swatting. You know, where some dumb shit would hack into your into your IP address, know where you live, call the police, and that player's location town, bullshit the dispatch. Yeah, it's insane, man. It's insane. There's been that for years, but it's been cracked down big time. But how often, you know?
It's the real cutting edge of voice chat games, and not the good kind. This is an interesting notion. At least I think it's interesting. There's a phenomena in this has been studied, you know, in the past to a great degree, crowd behavior.
Online gaming communities can mirror social behavior and vice versa. Crowd behavior anonymity enables de-individuation, de-evaluation, de-individuation. People lose external and individual constraints on their behavior. One only needs to have watched the news over the past year to see the behaviors play out both online and real life situations, which begets which.
When people are in a crowd and they start to become just part of the crowd, and they feel somewhat anonymous, right? Like they as a person don't stand out as much, and they can kind of start to be absorbed and enmeshed into the crowd. It's a condition called de-individuation, where basically, people basically lose their external and individual constraints, right? So where they might act perfectly normally in a normal social situation, you put them in this different environment with these different factors, and the behavior changes, right? And not for the better. I think one only need to have watched the news over the past year to see, certainly in real life, how these behaviors can play out, and how people can kind of lose what are their normal societal constraints, and not behave in good, positive ways, right? And the other,
it's like a person who's not really big on crowds. I mean, they prefer a kind of a small group kind of thing, but not big on crowds. It's something online or in gaming, like you're not big on crowds, but that thing.
The other factor at play here is kind of which environment begets, or which environment begets which when it comes to these behaviors, right? Are people learning? Are people learning this at younger ages and in a more acute fashion because they're online, because they're seeing all this toxic behavior take place, because perhaps they're experiencing it and starting to do it themselves? Do people bring these behaviors online because, and then clearly this happens, right? People have tough days, and then they go online, and maybe they act in ways that they normally would, even in an online situation. But it's the behaviors we need to. It's better if we can tamp down these behaviors and these toxic behaviors and make them, create environments where they're not tolerant, right? And they're not set as a norm of behavior.
The biggest problem is the very, very toxic individuals that would cause a very toxic atmosphere in real life and in gaming. Those are the ones that I cannot stand. Toxic people. Can't stand them. That's the problem. Toxic people are a problem.
And that's, I think, what we really have to start to see.
That, for example, you could go on to an app like, say, Stereo or Clubhouse. It can be fun at first, then all of a sudden it starts to get very toxic. People start to get toxic. I ran into a few on Stereo and TikTok. No, Stereo and Clubhouse. Very toxic people. at first I thought, Stereo was pretty cool at first because of the avatars. When you go on the Stereo, you sign up for an account, you create your avatar. At the time, it was like pretty cool because when you talk, your avatar talks too. But it's your voice that's through your avatar. That thing was pretty cool. That's why I liked it. At the time. Because you create your avatar was like, that's cool, man. You can put any kind of shirt on the character. You could clear. I mean, you could make your character's hair gray, green, blue, orange, pink, whatever, purple, whatever it is. You can put a hat on it, headphones, devil horns. Just be a goof. Just be a goof. But again, it's the toxicity of it. And it's these individuals that are toxic that will try any which way to interrupt your broadcast. I've had it done to me 3 times. And these are these young little chaoses of crap. I'm a dad. I'm thinking these little fuckers are my son's age at the time. But 20-year-olds try to talk tough, which whatever, it's just little assholes. But the toxicity is the biggest problem. I mean, it's the environment that they're from, that they carry along with them. It's like a cloud over their head, a black cloud over their head, and they can't get. I mean, no matter how far they run or how far they try to hide, that cloud is still over your fucking head, man. The black cloud of toxicity.
Strive for when it comes to moderating online social behavior and online voice chat. And then let's talk about children, right? As we can see, and I don't think these stats are going to surprise anybody. I mean, 40 to 75% of kids are using platforms that they're technically, not supposed to be on, too young to be on, right? They're younger than 13, and they're going online, and they're playing these games, and they have headsets on, and they're in voice chat, and what are they learning? What are they seeing? What kind of behaviors, are there for them to model, right? Other interesting factors, kids are twice as likely to just use platform blocking and reporting tools versus, telling a grown-up, telling their parents what might have happened to them, within a game, within an online environment. And
the second part here is kids are at least twice as likely to use platform blocking and reporting tools rather than tell their parents what happened. Majority of kids who block and report any of those users quickly find them again. Kids who identify as LGBTQ experience harms as high rate than non-LGBTQ peers. And yet, video games named as one of the places that LGBTQ finds joy and strength. Also, what the problem is too is that parents who follow the whole LGBT there's some bullshit involved in this one too. So, parents who follow that bullshit for the last couple of years are also the problem as well. So there has to be accountability as well. Accountability. I'm a dad myself. My son who's you can say he's bi. Smart kid, man. Very, very smart kid. Open mind, man. Good kid, you know. Not to me, he's not a kid, but he's an adult, so he's my boy, you know. He knows his stuff, and it bothers him. It does. It bothers him 100%.
Bad things can happen. Majority of kids who block and report say the people they blocked and reported, they find them again. You know, they come in with a different identity, a different account, boom, and they kind of know where they are, where they were, and they find them again. Clearly, you know, these are behaviors that are
one of the most disgusting, toxic individual. Jeffrey fucking Marsh, that sick son of a bitch.
Just, well, you know, they're heinous, and something like child grooming in particular. These are heinous behaviors, and it's clear to me, and I think it should be to everyone, that we have a moral responsibility to do something about it, particularly in games.
Yeah.
It's going on in online multiplayer games, right? Kids who identify as LGBTQ, this is shocking, right? They experience harm at even higher rates than non-LGBTQ players do.
They experience it because their parents want to put them through. You know, these kids who are identifying are younger than 12 years old because their parents say, "Oh, my Bobby and Susie are trans." Mommy, maybe you need some counseling yourself, and maybe some straight up psychological evaluation. I mean, these parents are part of the problem as well. You're not setting an example for your kid, you know. Like, let your kids be kids, man. They will let you know later on when they're older. Do not decide for them. They will decide for themselves in the long run when they're older. Older. Mommy and Daddy, the kids don't need your fucking help. Tell them, "Oh, Mommy and Susie, I think we think you're trans." Well, Mommy and Daddy, we think you're fucking nuts. I agree to that. Mom and Dad are fucking nuts. Mommy and Daddy need some serious counseling. And Mommy needs to get off drugs. That I agree.
And again, here's the great side of online games, online environments. The LGBTQ kids and players, they find joy and strength in video games, right? And going online and playing games. You know, because they can be good at it. They can be good at it, they can excel at it, and goodness knows, heck, they might even find kindred spirits online who they can share.
I do support those kids, because I'm a dad. My son came out to me when he was only 17, 18 years old. And as a father, it took me a while to let it sink in. I think that's a smart thing to do, is like put yourself in your kid's shoes. You know. I have. I'd be scared, terrified, you know. Because you got to understand, your kids are scared. They're terrified, man. You got these overly churchy religious fuck biscuits, parents who are so highly religious are putting their faith before their kids. Your kids come first, man, you know. Listen to your kids. They're coming to you as their parent because they're scared. They're terrified right now. Listen to your kids, man. They're terrified, man, because they're confused and they need someone to talk to. And have a shoulder to cry on because they're scared. They're terrified, man. The worst religion ever for that shit is the Mormon religion. Oh, fuck the Mormons, dude. They're a cult. Just like fucking the Vatican, man, you know. Those cocksuckers and shit, you know. Kids are scared. They're terrified, man. And they need mom and dad support and understanding that they're terrified. They're scared. They need someone to talk to, man. Do not turn your back on these. They need family support. But half the time, family shun them because they're lesbian, gay, bi, and you will not be like this house. Mom, Dad, how about shut the fuck up? Put your religious shit aside for a moment and actually listen to your kids for a moment because they need you. They need you. Okay? They need someone who can at least hear them out instead of turn their back on them because you're an abomination. God's going to say he's going to put you into hell. Oh, really, Mom and Dad? They're going to put your kids to hell because they're gay, they're lesbian, they're bi? You know, like, dude, you're a fucking idiot, man. Your kids need you. You know. I love my son. I love my son because I don't care if he's gay or straight. That's my boy. That's my only son. I would die for my son. I would die for my son. I would put my life on the line for my son. You know. We all got to understand and think here for think. Fucking think. And these parents are pushing this transgender bullshit. It's all a charade, man. It's bullshit, man. All they are is cross-dressers and drag queens and drag kings, man. Drag kings are women just like men. Drag queens are men just like women. You know. But that's when they're older. Older, you know. And like fuck, man. Hear your kids out, man. Hear your kids out, you know.
Both are enjoyment of the game, you know, but also what they might be going through as, you know, as kids growing up, you know, trying to find their identity and so forth. So I think it's important. It's important. It's a key. It's important. Let's talk about. All right. So far we've talked about you know the existence of, you know, how important voice chat is to games.
Now, and the cost studios is considerable. 2020, the ADL report shows 68 to 61% of players face serious toxicity 48% via in-game voice chat, and 28% leaves because of it. For a 50 million player game, that's 50 million, 68%, 48%, 20%, 4.6 million players lost per year. Nearly 50 million a year lost in revenue for typical titles. Vivox Unite Copenhagen study 2019. Voice chat players spent twice the time in-game as non-voice player chat. Hold on, I'm forgetting here. Vivox Unite Copenhagen study 2019. Okay, this is a study. Voice chat players spent twice the time in-game as non-voice chat players. Voice chat players 5 times as likely to be playing in week number 5 versus non-voice chat players.
Just to us as persons, we've talked about some of the pros and certainly many of the cons, right? But let's talk about money, right? Because money tends to get people's attention, right? Tends to get everyone's attention at the very top levels of management in companies, and right down to the base layer. The Anti-Defamation League does tremendous work and studies and reporting on any kind of toxic, disruptive behavior in society in general and online as well. The 2020 report is a very good one. It's very informative. I urge everyone to go, check it out if and when you have an opportunity. But for example, 68% of players, 68 to 80 actually, facing serious toxicity in their game, and nearly 50% of players experience that via voice chat. Right? And the big news, almost 30% of players leave games because of it. Right? They just leave. They leave your game because they don't need it and they just don't want it. So let's take just an example game, right, and talk about maybe some of the numbers. So if you take a 50 million player game, sure, that's a big game, but there are way bigger games out there, as we know. 50 million, we'll do easy math, right? 50 million players, you say 68% of the players facing toxicity, divided again by the 48% who experience it in voice chat, and then a third of those players leave, 28%, right? That's 4.5 million on a 50 million player game. That's, again, and my apologies to my friends who are UA specialists out there. There are way more complex and interesting ways to do this. I welcome anyone who wants to really take a look at it, but this is directionally correct. I don't think we're off by an order of magnitude by any stretch of the imagination. On the low side, we might be approaching, being off on the high side. But even with this quick and dirty math, you have.
But again, this is a Vivox Unite Copenhagen study from 2019.
It's at $10 per player revenue, and big games, it can be at least twice that, right? You're talking $50 million a year. $50 million
a year.
Again.
Gaming is more popular than watching a fucking movie, and or listen to music. It outsells music and movies combined. Because basically, when you play a game, it's like you're actually watching a CGI made game, movie,
That's for a 50 million player game, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. At least I think so. And I think it's, it behooves. And then well, and then leave that aside for a minute. Think about the human side, right? 4.5 million players had a very, very negative experience in
4.6 million players lost per year. Imagine that. 4.6 million players lost per year. That fucks up the $50 million a year revenue from these companies, you know.
Potentially in your game, right? Because there's nothing being done about the toxic environment. If you know, for those players who aren't toxic, you know, you had 4.5 million players. You know, they had a crappy time.
And the problem is the toxic individuals that's making gaming no longer worth wanting to do. You know, I mean, I play, my son plays, you know, but it depends on what game you're playing, and I'm not big on the whole talking anymore. I mean, I was for a long time, but it's like, dude, toxicity, people are the problem. You know, it is.
You know, because of that, there's a human side. Just to add to that, and again, this is this is a VVOX study that was just done in 2019. VVOX obviously very involved in voice chat, as we know. Voice chat players spend twice the time in game as non-voice chat players. Boom, right? How does that translate to revenue? I'm certain it does. It has to, right? And then voice chat players who use voice chat 5 times as likely to be playing in week number 5 versus non-voice chat players. So again, retention, right? Voice chat contributes remarkably for those games that utilize voice chat. It contributes remarkably to game retention. So it's it really behooves us, not just ethically again, but financially.
Again, this is Hank Howie, Director of Partnership Modulate.
Do something about voice chat in our games and the toxicity therein. Just to sort of finish up here, voice chat technology, it's evolving, it's changing, it's growing, it's getting better and better enabled all the time. Some of the big streaming platforms are giving players more control over, kind of the voice interactions between them, streamers, and so forth. There's technology where folks can, recognize and adjust for dialogue, even language difference between speakers, which is, more on the cohesive, bring people together side. There's dynamic volume-based proximity chat, as far as, you can telling where other players and even where enemies are, online. So that's all great stuff. But there is, as far as voice chat and toxicity and moderation there are today autonomous moderation addressing technologies that can be used in games by game runners, by platforms to moderate and cut way down on toxic chat.
Yeah, because in last video I did a commentary on content creators that are using it as clickbait for views and stuff like that. They're doing it for that, But in reality, I think it's a good thing in a way, because it monitors any kind of harassment, any kind of and I agree. I mean, we need some to really squash the exact toxicity, Again, autonomous voice, moderation, addressing online toxicity, including swearing, bullying, sexual harassment, and grooming. That's right. Fuck you, Jeffrey Marsh.
In our games, right? We at Modulate, I have my TalksMod webpage signal there, but if you're interested in this, by all means, go to modulate.ai. You can check out the kind of things we're doing. There are other companies doing it as well, and I think it behooves us all to recognize the issue, acknowledge it, and do something about it. And with that, I'm going to let you all go. I hope you found this at least somewhat informative and
It is informative.
and interesting. And
This is the GDC 2025 channel. Check it out. It is a just really understanding about the whole thing here. So.
I want you all to have a great day. Stay well. I hope you enjoyed my Blue Fang swag. There's not much of this left anymore. Anyway, you all stay safe out there. Be well, and enjoy gameplay online. Right? It's fun. Thank you very much. Take care.
And thank you, Hank Matt. Now, again, it just really, here, let's fix this here. It's the whole toxicity, man, of everything. You could be, whether you're on Clubhouse or Stereo or online gaming, and then you're hearing toxicity anywhere, out in the real world or voice chat and gaming. We got some really toxic, sick motherfuckers, man, in this world, man. And it is just straight up bad, very, very bad. I think voice chat, you get to talk to other players from across the globe. Really, shit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Talk to different people from different backgrounds. Like Asia and Russia, Europe, Mexico, Canada, Australia, mate. Australia. It's up on the Barbie. I made friends with a couple of gamers from Australia. Really cool chaps, really cool guys, But yeah, a lot of this is the toxicity of this soft woke generation, man, as well. It's just really, really just fucking insane, man. It's almost as worse as social media. You gotta be at a certain age to have a social media account. Legal age. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It is. You got groomers even in their 20s. You got groomers in 20s. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you're a fucking 20-ish old groomer. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Plus, it's also the environment that they were raised in, and from, Also, the crowd they hang out with, too. The kind of music, movies. Come on, man. It's obvious. It's yeah. So, It's bad. It's bad. Very, very, very bad. So, all right, folks. This is good old Reverend Ordo. And this has been the Anonymous Manawati Sec. If you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell for notification. Always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, Godspeed, and Buddha bless.